Hey America, Paul Knopf, MD, here again to talk about lifestyle changes, lifestyle modifications, specifically how to change a habit that's maybe high calories to something that's lower in calories, and give you an example of how I did that in my own life. When I think about lifestyle modification, I think we focus on the how, meaning, how many calories does this have, or basically calories in, calories out, which is an important aspect of whether we're successful in lifestyle modification, but it's not the most important aspect. I would say that our psychology around these changes is the most important aspect of why we do what we do. Basically, the why is more important than the how. So when I think about lifestyle modifications, in particular with diet and why we make the decisions that we make, I can think of about 10 different reasons why we eat the way that we eat. And I'm not going to go into all those today. I'm going to mostly talk about habits. Habits are super important in those decisions, those day-to-day decisions, or the lack of a decision. Sometimes we're just doing what we do because that's what we normally do. So most of my life, when I had breakfast in the morning, it would have been the same breakfast. It would have been a bowl of cereal with whole milk. And in my 30s, when I started to put on weight, like people often do, I started to think about what I was eating and how I might reduce my calories, and so I started to look up, how many calories are in what my usual breakfast would be. And so if you look here, we can see what I normally would have eaten: about 2 cups of cereal, all different kinds. Of course, this is Wheat Chex, but it could be any kind of cereal. And then about 1.5 cups of whole milk. And I realize this is a pretty big bowl of cereal, but that's what I would eat, a really big bowl of cereal. And looking up the amount of calories that's in about 2 cups of cereal and 1.5 cups of milk, that's anywhere from 300 to 450 calories for the cereal, and anywhere from, or about 225 calories for the whole milk. And so you're easily talking 600 to 700 calories for a bowl of cereal every morning. Now, what I want to talk about is, and show you, what I usually eat nowadays. Now, I might just eat 1 banana for breakfast. And a banana, your average size banana, is about 105 calories. Or I might just eat an apple. That's about 95 calories. But that's not the most common thing that I do. The most common breakfast for me now is a smoothie with orange juice and kale. And I'm going to show you how I make that. And when I first started doing this, it did seem a little weird to me. That was that habit coming in. It seemed weird to me to not be eating my usual cereal. And after some time, I would say if you're going to change a habit, you should do it at least a week. So you do it every day for a week. After I did that, it didn't seem weird to me anymore. It seemed normal, and my attachment to the bowl of cereal that I was eating was about the same as my attachment to the smoothie that I was now eating for breakfast. And the difference in calories was, like I said, 600 to 700 calories versus 200 calories for the kale smoothie that I was eating. Kale, or any leafy vegetable, is going to be so low in calories. Kale, it's about 9 calories per cup of kale, that you could basically just ignore the calories in something like that. It's a freebie, basically. Orange juice is about 110 calories per cup of orange juice, and I'm probably using at least 2 to 3 cups of orange juice with my smoothie. So again, anywhere 200 calories to 300 calories for the smoothie in the morning, and that is at least half of the calories that were in that bowl of cereal. Now, if you just focus on those 300 calories, that's not much. much. But if you multiply that out over years or a lifetime, you've significantly reduced the amount of calories that you're eating, and it can make a huge difference. So let's go out to the garden and I'll show you how I get my kale. So I got a couple different varieties of kale, and I like them pretty equally. So just checking for bugs. Now, Jacob's going to be having a smoothie with me, so I'm making a double smoothie today. Okay, so that's about enough kale for a double smoothie. Let's go back inside. Now you can put all different kinds of things in your smoothie, and I often do. Strawberries, blueberries. I tend to stay away from things like any protein powder, anything like that. I would say that unless you have a specific health condition that limits your ability to get nutrients, that those things are unnecessary. You don't need to add them, and they'll add calories to your smoothie that are unnecessary also. So we have 3 small bananas. If they were bigger bananas, I would have just used 1 per smoothie. Again, we're making a double batch. Jacob's going to try my smoothie today. Typically, I'll put in only part of the orange juice at first, and that's so that the kale leaves can get chopped up more successfully. I'm shooting for about 30 ounces of total smoothie so that Jacob and I both have about 30 ounces. I said that wrong. I'm shooting for about 60 ounces total, and for 2 30-ounce smoothies. It's nice to have a big blender so that you can do more than 1 smoothie at a time. And my kids will often have a smoothie with me, which is pretty cool. All right, so again, the most important part of this process is planning out the change that you want to make, and then trying to do it even if it seems a little weird for at least a week, and give your mind and your body time to adjust to that change, but always with it in your mind that this is something that you're going to adopt for the rest of your life, if it feels right, you know, if you're successful with it, and not necessarily to fix a particular problem, but to just make a healthy lifestyle change. All right, Jacob. Moment of truth for the smoothie here.
It's pretty good.
Delicious.